New Talent Showcase. No number or anything like that. It's just an anthology of new creators who. What was it called? The thing they came out of? The workshop?
It was the workshop.
Yeah.
The DC Talent Development Department.
Yeah.
But I remember us talking about this a while ago now, like that this was coming and that they were. Maybe it wasn't on the podcast. Maybe it was in the.
Yeah, did neither of you read the intro page at the start of the book?
I did.
No,
I remember. I did. I remember talking about this as it was going on, but I don't remember where. I know I talked about it with you guys.
Well, a bit before this, because it says that they launched this just over a year ago. So
yeah. So, or maybe it was when they put this out in the solicits that it was coming out. But anyways, it's the culmination of those people that submitted stories and went to the workshops of artists and writers and even editors. I think they said, like overall, it was edited by some DC people, but some of these new people also had a hand in it. So I thought it's really cool that they're building a foundation.
Yeah, it's also worth noting it says this year's showcase, which implies that we'll get this as a yearly thing.
Yeah, 2017 I'll have one as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we've got a bunch of stories in here. We'll work through them in order and see what we think each of them.
Yeah.
It's funny because overall, I will say I actually kind of enjoyed this more than I thought I would. I thought there was some pretty good stories throughout this. But even the ones I liked though, I have one complaint that kind of persists through all of them.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this up before we talk about them, is I feel like almost all of these aren't actually self-contained. It almost feels like a TV pilot season where they're all pitching their ideas and nothing has a conclusion. They're all like...
Which, if these are based off of pitches, though, I understand that. Because that's what you kind of want in a pilot, to where it sets up, this is the story that we're going to tell, and this is where it's going to go. Although that's kind of unsatisfying if we're never going to get answers to some of these things.
It makes it a very weird read, as from our end, reading these as an anthology.
It does, but I wonder if that's maybe kind of very directly the idea where DC are looking at what the reception to each of these stories are and are essentially going to greenlight the ones that go well.
I mean, Amazon does that, right, with their pilot season.
They do, and it's annoying. I don't like they do it either.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we complained about that just this week, I think.
We had complained about this. It was like, no, you're meant to make these hard choices, and then we get the end product. This feels like we're doing part of your work for you. And
although maybe that's why these got selected, is that they are going to go forward with minis. These could be the next miniseries we get.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And for the most part, I'm cool with that. At least in the sense that I would like to read more of a lot of these.
Yeah, definitely.
So and a disclaimer, I didn't get to finish the last couple stories, so I'm eager to hear what you guys thought of those ones.
Which, funnily enough, includes a very good Superman story.
And again, I never know if you guys are messing with me.
To counter that, it does include a Harley Quinn story, so...
Yeah.
So,
but it's funny, actually, I almost didn't have time to read the last one, and after I read it, I was like, I probably could have just not read that, and I would have been fine. I'm talking about all the interesting ones. Anyway, let's get cracking onto the actual story. So the first one's a Constantine story. It's called The Road to Hell and all that. Written by Adam Smith and art by... Oh dear. Saya... Om.
Like that? Like OHM?
No,
OUM.
OUM.
Same kind of sound, right? Same phonetics.
Yeah. Apologies to anyone whose names I butcher. I say this every week because I always butcher names, but there we go. So this is a story about Constantine, because Zatanna, Zatanna's his girlfriend in this story, which and it's the day of her dad's funeral, so he actually goes to hell to try and find him, so that he can bring him back, and
thinking that's gonna help Zatanna get over her dad's death.
Yeah, because
I don't know much about Constantine, but this is the most Constantine thing I've ever heard of.
But
I think it's just so literal, isn't it? Because she tells him to go to hell, and he's like, that gives me an idea.
Yeah.
But she even brings up, though, she's not spoke to him in 10 years because they had a really crappy relationship. Yeah. So she's very conflicted in her feelings. So him coming back still isn't necessarily
the best thing.
Yeah, like, it's not necessarily what she wants. It's just, but then...
Again, it's Constantine going, I'll show her what I can do.
Yeah.
And he does find her dad, and his dad's basically like, no, like, I don't want to do that, leave her be. But he also casually mentions that she's also damned to hell because of what he's done. So Constantine now comes back, and he knows that, and that's kind of the moment we end on, is he has to deal with the fact that he knows the woman he loves is damned to hell.
And that's what I like, the emotional arc on this one is I don't ever think of Constantine as an emotional guy, right? He's kind of live and let live. But to see that he's doing this, at least in the story, for Zatanna, I really liked.
I definitely liked this more than the Rebirth issue of the main book, a few months ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was more in this where I actually got what the story was and what it was about, beyond just Constantine making his wisecracks and generally stumbling about. And I liked that. Plus, I like Zatanna, so having another character
that helps, doesn't it? Yeah.
I enjoy.
And I like, so you're the resident Constantine kind of guy, Connor. How often do they pair Zatanna and Constantine? Because I remember Lemire did it in Justice League Dark early on.
Yeah, I feel like it's a recent-ish thing, but I feel like it's happened quite a lot. Like maybe they just overdid it and they did it like throw them together permanently for like so long. So it was maybe like 2-3 years where they were together all the time. So it kind of just feels like it is that way now.
Gotcha. I definitely enjoyed that. Enjoyed the art and even the coloring.
I was just going to say, actually, since these are all new teams, that we're not going to be familiar with any of these people because they're all new. That's the point. I was going to
stuff for Lupacino in a story coming up.
Yeah, but I was going to say at the end of each one we should talk about the writing and the art. Just like as a writer, as an artist, what did we think?
I mean, I think it's worth knowing that while it says it's a new talent showcase, they're not new to comics in general. It's just new to Big Two stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, maybe it was too much of a broad statement to say but we were not likely to know who many of them are. They're generally going to be fresh to us. So.
Yeah.
No, I liked the art as well. I thought it had a nice distinct tone. I loved the. I guess going with what Constantine actually wears, but there was a lot of browns and earth tones in the colouring, which I thought worked really well. Even just as something as simple as Zatanna getting out the cab at the end in the street, I liked how the street looks. It has like a feel of a real, well, not a real city, but like a specific city. It doesn't feel like just I just have a generic city in the background. It feels like there's like a distinct style there.
Yeah. Like a photo reference of somewhere they've been that the artist knows. But yeah, and even the demons there kind of all have their own personality, and they're not really characters. They're in the background, but you can kind of get a vibe from each of them.
Yeah, like you got the ones playing poker. You got like you got the guys just drinking at the bar. You kind of get a sense that even though this is hell, they're not all there for the same reason.
Yeah, it's the same as like a bar.
And I know I bring up weed and things a lot, but it's kind of like the bar and Angel. Where you go in and you see all these different types of demons, and why are they there? It doesn't matter. Like they're there for different reasons, but here it's like
Well, they don't feel like a copy where there's like we're just gonna draw the same type of thing and throw them in there. It brought like a human approach to them, like you guys are saying. Each of them have their own story going on, but I also liked the little side jaunts, not even jaunts, but like Constantine's story about the gate of hell in Kansas and how there's someone that's half witch, half Satan, because Satan impregnated a witch there.
But no one ever talks about it.
But no one ever talks about it, and he's actually a good guy now that he's grown up. Like I like that little stuff more so than any of the Constantine that I've read beforehand. So if this did become a series or a mini, I would definitely check it out. So
yeah. All right, and next up we have a Wonder Woman story called Blood and Glory, written by Yuita Alaya. Oh god. Alaya. Alaya sounds right. Alaya sounds right. Or is that a V at the start? Actually, is that Vita?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at it as well. I can't tell. I feel like it might be a V because that makes more sense.
But then look at the top of the A's though. They've got the same sort of thing, and they're not. You know what I mean?
You guys are making me bust out my iPad.
The font makes it unclear, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't actually tell. I'm kind of leaning towards a U, just because I feel like a V must have more of a point to it. But I can't tell.
Great. And the table of contents does no
first names.
I went back and checked that as well.
Yeah, you have to go to the first page of the story. And the art is by Carrie or Carey Randolph. Yeah, Randolph's an easy name. Thanks.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Gonna see if I can Google them. It's Vita.
Vita, right? Okay, there you go.
Cool.
Pick a better font for your credits there, DC. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely Vita. Google backs me up.
Right, cool, awesome. So this is a Wonder Woman story, and Wonder Woman's fighting some big monsters in the middle of New York, and the Flash shows up uninvited and tries to help and ask her what's going on, and Wonder Woman's all, well, blood and glory, and, you know, she's basically in war mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's a little reveal at the end as to who's behind. There's like a witch behind the whole thing, like corrupting someone from Themyscira.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. This one more so than the Constantine one. The Constantine one did kind of feel like it had an ending, more so than a lot of them. And this was the first one where I got to the end and I'm like, wait, so it begins? That's what it's ending on, is so it begins?
Well, and it's completely antithetical to what we're reading currently in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because there's some of these that actually do feel like they could be in continuity, but some of them are absolutely not.
And I just feel it's a different characterization of Wonder Woman than I've ever read. Like, even when she was the goddess of war, she didn't seem so aggro, so that threw me. Like,
yeah, she's like embraced it quite a lot.
Yeah, like she's like Leonidas in 300. Like, she is ready to mow down some fools.
Yeah.
Here. Even like she gets irritated that Flash is trying to help her. And I was just like, this is a weird Wonder Woman. Not wrong, but just definitely different than
not current.
what I've ever read.
I definitely didn't enjoy this one super much. It kind of, like, it has some fun moments, especially when Flash is trying to like intervene and help.
I thought the voice of the Flash was really well done.
Yeah.
I thought...
Which, by the way, like, halfway through, she just casually called him Wally. I'm like, oh, right, okay.
I was like, okay, this is really...
Yeah.
At first I thought maybe this was meant to be just like an adventure that happened while she was war.
Yeah.
You know, and then we just one of those like lost mission things that you never see.
Yeah, set in the past, yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh, okay, this is just something else entirely.
Yeah.
Well, and even before we got to the Wally reveal, it felt like the Justice League TV series Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah, which,
where
to be
it was
fair,
Rosenbaum's voice.
We should have known it was Wally because of the belt. We should have noticed it.
I think we're just now at this point we're too trained to just assume it's Barry again.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
So, but I can say that the voice of the Flash was really well done, and I did appreciate that. The rest of the story, not so much.
Yeah, story was kind of just
not my kind of thing.
I will say, I love the art.
I'm 50-50 on the art. Like, I feel like it looks good. Like, I like the style of the art, but there's some things where like the size of body parts is really off. Like, see the page where she's jumping down to the Flash, and it's kind of like a perspective thing where her legs are really big but her arms are really small because they're higher up.
Mm-hmm.
I think she looks really weird there. Like, the perception of her, like the way her body's shaped in different places looks really weird.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. It looks like her arms are really thin.
It does, and short.
But her head's still normal. I'll give you that one. That one does look... Yeah. I think overall, the actual kinetic flow, especially the action sequences...
Oh, yeah, no, I agree, yeah.
It was an easy read, for sure.
There was a lot of things I liked about it, but like there was problems in the art that were keeping up like that here and there.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay. Right, okay, well, that's that. That's the second story. That takes us on to Dead Beacons, which is a White Lantern story. Written by Michael Moretti, I'm going to say, and Barnaby Bigenda. At
least it's a solid font this time. This is just
that's true.
fucking it up.
Well, what do you mean it's me? Do you know how to pronounce that?
No, I'm just pushing the blame onto you.
That's fine. I kind of like this one, even
Peter
though...
can't even read good.
I actually kind of like this one. I like that this is not a Green Lantern story per se, but a White Lantern story, right? But it starts really focused about these characters just finding a derelict space station. Like, I like the setup for it. I actually kind of appreciate that.
The sci-fi guy loves the sci-fi story. Shocker.
I know.
No. But like, my problem with a lot of Green Lantern space stories recently is that they're too heady and there's too much going on. Whereas this keeps it nice and simple. Two characters find a space station. They're investigating it. You know?
It felt very alien.
Yeah.
Like, they show up and they're like, wait, like, this ship's too new to be this messed up. Like, something's weird. And then, of course, bad guy shows up, you know, and there is more to it.
And my only complaint about this first half is that the narration from, I assume, the villain is very, very similar to the Phantom Lantern stuff that we've been having in Green Lanterns. But I assume that this was written independently of that, and like it's just kind of a coincidence. Yeah,
it was like a parallel thought. Yeah. Is that, yeah.
And then
it happens.
It cuts to Kyle as the White Lantern and Carol Ferris, which, by the way, have they been a couple at any point? Is this like a new thing?
Not to my knowledge. I thought it was really weird.
Me either, and I did not like that.
No, me neither.
That's just the stodgy DC fan in me that's like, no, it's Alan Carroll. Kyle can date whoever he wants as long as she doesn't end up in a fridge. But
this is like when you play Batman Arkham Knight and they've got like Barbara and Tim in a relationship, and it's like, whoa, no, what's going on here?
That's just wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like no, thank you, sir.
I even felt the reason for them being a couple, it just felt hollow. Like they wanted that hook there that Kyle thinks that she might be pregnant.
Yeah, which is funny because I actually kind of like the dialogue in all this. See, if this was someone other than Carol, I'd actually really have enjoyed this scene. Yeah. You know, I like the banter, and I like the sort of the ending, and where he thinks he may get in trouble because if he acts like he's worried about it. You know, like there was a lot of good stuff here. I think it's well written. They could have made
that Sornik easily because Kyle and Sornik had a thing.
I just don't understand why it's Carol.
Yeah.
Like, what happened there?
Just for recognition to more casual people, like maybe non-Green Lantern readers, they'll probably recognise Carol, but...
Well, that's the thing. When I heard there was a Kyle story, I assumed, that must be a fan of Kyle, and that's why they want to do this. But then I get to Carol as his girlfriend, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like someone who doesn't... I mean...
Or it would have been cool if it was Jade.
Then again,
Jaden forever.
To be fair, none of us actually read like the later Green Lantern stuff from the New 52. Who knows? Maybe they did have a thing at the end of that.
And if they did,
they shouldn't have.
Damn it.
It's still wrong. It's still wrong.
It's still wrong. But...
If they did, I'm just blaming Venditti for one more thing.
Yeah, there you
go. I'm ready for.
Well, she moved on quick after Hal. Like Hal disappears, and she's like, "Hey, White Lantern, what's up?"
That's it. I am super ready to have a Kyle Lantern, White Lantern stuff. Did I say Kyle Lantern?
Yes, you did.
The Kyle Rayner.
I'm pretty sure he just reappeared at the end of last week's or whenever it was Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, right, okay, interesting.
So he's coming back. We're gonna get some stuff.
What did we think of the art in this one?
It was alright. I wasn't a fan of the colours, to be honest. I thought they were a bit off.
They're a bit muted for a Green Lantern book.
Yeah, it feels like there's not enough vibrancy. I liked it a lot in the first half when it was on
I liked the first half.
The derelict ship.
I don't know. I would almost argue that I am ready for a muted coloured Green Lantern book. I'm kind of sick how they all look the same.
But I feel when they make constructs or do stuff with the ring, then make that vibrant.
Okay, I can maybe...
to make it stand out against, or even just make the characters... the Lantern characters vibrant and let everybody else be.
I feel like the problem is like obviously everything else can have this muted tone, but these lanterns they're supposed to almost glow and like especially Kyle, where he's this white beacon.
He's life. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just kind of sure there's a glowing outline around him, but I don't really feel it.
I'm going to disagree with this because I'm actually ready for a completely different style of looking lanterns, so I'm actually kind of cool with that.
You can still do it, but I get and I get what you're saying that you want it to be different because we've had the Rainbow Core style.
It's looked the same for a long time. In terms
I just like the lanterns to stand out a bit more from the background when it's like this.
That wasn't my issue with the art though. My issue with the art was some of the faces were a bit wonky.
Well, and some of the proportions too, because I'm right now looking at a page with Carol where she's lancing one of the bug creatures
with an umbrella.
And she's or a lance, like whatever.
It looks like an umbrella.
It does look like an umbrella.
But she's got legs like a gazelle, like no joke, like they are.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, I get the faces. Kyle's mask too is. I wish they would get rid of the crab mask because it's so hard for
there's
an artist to make it
very
look
few
good.
artists that can pull it off, isn't there?
I like the first half and I like the dialogue from Kyle. I just don't get why it's Carol.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yep, me too.
Alright, so the next one is Hot Girl, Weapons of War, written by Erica Schultz, and art by Sonny Liu. I'm going to let the cat out, because this cat has been a complete pain tonight.
Bloody hell. Again, these cats.
Yeah,
this
Matt,
is why you don't have cats. They're a nuisance.
Matt, continue with the synopsis, thank you.
I got you. So, this goes in the grand scheme of Hawk person stories that makes me go, that could be cool. And then it's kind of executed weird. Like, I liked the point of the story that she's a special weapons detective in Chicago, and that we're jumping in time about stuff that's going to happen and where it stems from. I just feel like the art really sidetracked it for me. Like,
the art's definitely a bit off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the art's bad. I just don't think it suits this story.
That's what I mean. I could see this in almost any other kind of book, but in a heavy action and
Special
spacey,
cosmic-y stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it feels weird. Like, this feels like I would like this in like a Black Canary book, you know, where it's more down to earth, and because like the stuff when she's a detective with her partner, I thought worked really well. It had a cartoony feel to it, you know. Yeah. But then when you get to the big space monsters and the weapons, it feels weird. I don't know. That's the only word I can come up with it.
It feels very European, very almost French. A lot of the cartoony style,
almost Tintin, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't like the art so much either. I did kind of like the colors though. I liked the, the like when you say when she's out as a detective and it's got this more sort of earthy, white, snowy feel to it. Even though I don't think there's actually any snow, but it feels like there's snow almost.
I think the point is just it feels and looks drab in comparison to its cosmic.
But that's her life as a detective compared to a superhero, right?
Yeah, so I think that works. I like the idea of the story. I like the idea of her being a detective and having this secret mission to like find all these nth metal weapons and all that. But again, it teases this big event that's coming that we don't ever see because it just ends. So again, it's a pilot for a potential mini or spin-off or whatever. I liked her dialogue though. I thought she had.
Yeah, definitely.
I think. I don't know if you were out of range when I said it. It's the grand tradition of the Hawk people, to where the story idea is so cool, but somewhere in the execution, it gets fumbled. So there's a lot to like here, I thought.
Yeah, I'd be down for more of this. Honestly, I think the most positive thing I can say about this anthology is that almost most of these I would actually be interested in more of. Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
So
especially this one, I like the idea of Hawkgirl. Like, we never really see her as with a human life doing a job.
No.
It's very
She's
rare.
just always Shayera.
Yeah.
And also, they changed her name too. Did you guys notice that?
Was it a new name?
Her name is still Shayera, but they gave her a last name of Thal.
Thal,
however you want to pronounce it. Because she's always Shayera Hole, because the whole Hawkman marriage.
Carter Hall.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. That was a nice little.
This is Hawkgirl and never married. That's what this is.
Yeah, and it's cool.
That's something
She's
that was
out
nice
of St.
in
Roach.
Carrying a story without Hawkman at all.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I think we should. I mean, they tried to push her as, when they were adding new members to the Justice League on the cartoon. They threw her in to add another female character.
Yeah, but I feel like since then, though, like that's still
they
the main thing.
That's
the main thing you think of when you think of Hawkgirl. You think of the animated show.
Yeah, it's him. Like obviously they tried in Legends and failed.
Anyway, next story in this anthology here. We had a Dead Man story called Killing Time. I see what they did there. Very good.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's Dead Man, Boston Brand doing his thing, talking about what his life is like and like how all the trouble he could cause if he wanted to, and how his job is to keep trying to like interfere and help out the good and restore balance.
He's got to balance.
Yeah,
balance the karmic scales, which might be my favorite phrase to come out of this showcase.
Yeah.
And
he goes to this like ghost bar thing towards the end, and he ends
Charlie's.
he runs into Rama, who's like the one he's sort of working for, and we did get a little twist ending where the person he thought he saved wasn't really saved because there was actually this villain with a ridiculous necklace of bullets. Like, it's huge, like each bullet's like a size of a head. Yeah, do you know, it almost looks like he's got a big necklace of dildos. Let's be honest, that's what it kind of looks like.
It does.
Maybe they are.
Big bullet dildos.
It's the most Liefeld thing I've seen in a good long while.
Dear.
It really is.
That said,
right?
That said, I actually quite enjoyed this, mainly because it was a good voice for Boston Brand, And if this is the tease for a possible Deadman ongoing,
Yeah.
sure.
Do you know what? I thought it was pretty solid. I think I'd have enjoyed it more if I hadn't just been blown away by a great Deadman.
Yeah.
With
Deadman,
the Haunted Mansion.
Forbidden Mansion of the Mansion of Forbidden Love, Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love.
Yeah. If we had just had that, which had like completely blown me away, then I feel like I'd have enjoyed this a lot more. But it was solid.
Yeah, it was solid.
But still, it's different aspects of the character.
Yeah.
I like this existential. What am I doing? What did I get myself into? I was just a carnival guy. Like, why am I helping save the universe? Like, I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I like when he jumps into the car and stops the people, and then he explains how people go on pause when he jumps into them, and then he's like, "Yeah, but it's good because they all get a story out of it." That's how I'm helping them. Like that's how his
he's got to justify it to himself somehow.
Yeah, his justification.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed the art well enough in this one, with one exception, which is fairly prominent given that it's his face. But Deadman's face always looked really creepy. It looked like he's sucking in his cheeks the entire time.
He's very gaunt, like a dead body.
Yeah.
And I get that, I get if that's what they're going for, that he's
a ghost.
Yeah, that's a good point, he's a ghost. But if that's what they're going for, I get why they're trying to do that. But it legitimately looks like instead of actually having in the sucked in cheeks, that it just looks like he's going like this.
Do you know what my bigger problem with it is, actually? I don't even mind if they'd chosen that as the stylistic choice. Yeah. But all the other ghosts have normal faces.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's what annoys me more about it.
Joe always looks like, actually, just to make a wrestling reference for Matt, it looks like Sting makeup almost on his face.
It does, where he takes out the inspired by the Crow. He puts the lines on.
Yeah.
I always thought that was supposed to be a mask. Like, maybe that just came from Brightest Day when he was human. And he was still wearing the Dead Man mask. But I always felt that wasn't his actual face. It's just, he's a ghost superhero. So, of course, he wears a ghost costume. Yeah. Dead Man's a weird one, guys. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah, so.
He's pretty cool, though.
But he's fun. And he hung out with Dick Grayson's parents. So that's always good.
Yeah.
He's got a tie.
Let's go on to the next one then, which is a Wonder Girl story, specifically Cassandra.
New 52 Wonder Girl, yeah. I
was not expecting
almost
this.
Feels in continuity.
Almost, but is she even around now?
Not that I know of.
No, she was in the
Titans.
Teen
Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen her since.
But she got Libdelled and completely messed up.
Wait, you mean New 52 Teen Titans? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, she wasn't in Teen Titans. What are you talking about?
No, but I think she was in it right until the end.
Right, okay.
To the end. And yeah.
The better end.
Completely convoluted her origin, and here they're playing with it, but I liked it a lot more here.
Yeah.
With the silent armor and the archaeological stuff. If there was just a series of her going around recovering artifacts like Indiana Jones, I'd be totally down for that. Team her up with Barbara and Minerva from time to time.
You just want anything that reminds you of Indiana Jones. Let's be honest.
That's basically all he wants.
I would say like sci-fi. I like pulp.
I would say this is slightly less indie though, and slightly more like The Mummy. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah.
Which I also love.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Again, I love pulp, and here I like that they kind of streamlined her origin. Where
she's doing
there's a tragedy there.
Yeah, she's doing these dig sites with her mother, but the backstory is that her ex-boyfriend named Diesel, Big Daddy Cool himself.
Not Vin, just Diesel.
Just Diesel, yeah. But
he gave himself that nickname. Nobody calls him that but her. Anyways.
But he thinks she left him for dead because she abandoned him, and she thought he was dead, but now he's sort of back for vengeance and he's causing all this havoc. But her and her mother, who's sort of heading up the excavations, is being framed. They're the lead suspects.
Yeah. Have we said who this is by?
We didn't. Sorry, that's my bad.
Oops.
That's me skipping ahead.
Good on you, Connor.
I need to go back to the first page. Come on,
Comicsology. It's written by Hina Khan, pencils by Emmanuel Lupacchino, inks by Ray McCarthy. So, and it looks great. Again, Lupacchino, we've seen art from in Rebirth.
Yeah.
So, that was a little weird seeing them pop up. But that said, it looks gorgeous.
Do you know what it almost makes me think? It makes me think that he did this a while ago when he was still quite fresh, but they've quickly given him some other small things to do. Because it's not like he's been doing any ongoings, he's done like one issue here, one issue there, kind of thing. Yeah. So it makes me think that he was just maybe the first one who graduated to doing regular books.
And if that's the case, please keep it coming.
And it also makes me wonder, where are the rest of them going to pop up next?
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2, baby. Phase 2.
Yep.
See, that feels ambitious. I feel like it'll, again, like Lupacino, it'll be these odd fill-in issues here and there.
Okay, sure. But then again, all these double shipping books need lots of artists to keep up the schedule. So
that's a point. And when we get to the end, obviously, I'll just question, what artist do we think would fit nicely on what current ongoing book as a fill-in? Like take any of these, like the Dead Man story.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Lupacino's working on Superwoman, so that's where I'd put him. Like,
yeah.
You know, so they've already found that spot.
Yeah, I could even maybe see him doing Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
I'm just looking. Just looking at it. I can see.
Oh my god, this cast meeting Damien would be pretty fun because she's not a teen, like she's a full on like adult almost, and just having no time for his BS would be great.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one, which is a Catwoman story. Although with a little bit of Wonder Woman sprinkled in there as well. And it's called The Amazonian Job, written by Emma Beebe. No relations to Mild Fuzz group member Richard Beebe, I hope. Otherwise, poor her.
If so, I suddenly hate this part.
Yeah.
It's a Beebe. Oh, I was not expecting that. And then art by Minkyu Zhang. I'm gonna go with
Minkyu.
Yeah, wait a minute. Minkyu? Yeah.
Minkyu, yeah.
It's a fun name to say, I have to say.
Yeah.
Not as much as Doug Jung, but close.
True. So basically, Wonder Woman comes and gets Catwoman and offers her a job to steal something. And that's kind of the plot. There you go. What more do you want? And it's about Catwoman. And it's about Catwoman while she accepts the job. And we had there's a really fun moment where she basically, yeah, I'm not doing it unless you can give me. And she lists like 3 of the most impossible things in the world. And Wonder Woman just goes, yeah, sure. It's like, but no, this is me storming off. You can't actually offer me those things. I know gods. I can give you those things.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that was basically it. It's a very intriguing premise. Like, I actually would be interested in seeing more of this because I just want, like, what is she stealing for? Like, how hard is it going to be?
Do you know what made me most interested in the story, Gerald? The ship or submarine, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The submarine. USS Mount Olympus.
Because Zeus even brings that up and he's like, oh, you think you're the gods now, because there's a little bit of backstory about how the gods' powers kind of been like dissipated and forgotten over time and all that. So that was another reason why some of these felt like pitches, because this even has a cutaway to the villain setup, but then has nothing to do with the rest of what we see.
Yeah,
it's like clearly supposed to continue in some way.
Yeah,
I'd be down for this though.
No, I really like this a lot. I feel like I just want to know more of this one, like maybe more than any of the others. It's like I really want the next part of this story, find out what actually happens.
Yeah, and again, I thought the art in this one was pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when you have Selena attack Wonder Woman at the start, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Super intriguing story. I like the backstory with the gods. I liked all this kind of stuff. This is another one where I'm not really sure if it fits into continuity. Like, does this feel like current Wonder Woman? I don't know if it does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The whole thing about her never... Well, yeah, because they're the lies, right?
Yeah,
so every time she's been back to Themyscira, it's not really been Themyscira. So you could fit it in there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Although I like the clean slate that Rucka's been working with, so I'm just gonna use that as the jumping off point. So, and if other people want to come in and fill in, then cool. But yeah, dang, it makes me wish I read this one. This is the point where I couldn't finish before we started to record.
Yeah,
so.
this was one that was just a really fun idea more than anything else.
Yeah.
And the dialogue seemed right. The way like Selena was being, forgive the pun, catty, and the way Wonder Woman was being Wonder Woman, and their banter off, because they're both like two of the biggest and strongest women in DC, but in very different ways. So seeing that, my mic. So them bouncing off each other was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Matt's hitting his mic. Come on, guys, let's stop the percussion section of the podcast.
Nope.
I dropped my iPad, so my bad.
Just as soon as you said, I just wanted to hit it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
All right, a bit of an awkward cut there, possibly. Food arrived and caused destruction.
I was gonna blame Rip Hunter, but cool.
Nah. Well, it was food that I didn't even know was coming, so I'm not taking the full blame for it, but
Also
but it was
known
your
as the
food.
best food.
yeah, it was good. Yeah, surprise food is quite good. I have to
The
admit.
best food.
Yeah,
It's nearly as good as free food.
yeah. I made these two guys
Almost as good as donuts.
Yeah, I made these two sit and watch me
good
eat
stuff.
for a couple of minutes until I was finished, so we could continue.
So guess what? Now I'm hungry, so we're gonna speed through the rest of these.
Sorry, I
Before I
got
turn
Pringles
into-
to get to once we get this.
Oh, I've got Pringles. I've got Pringles sitting right there.
I got Pringles in my. Y'all want to eat them together? I got some in my pantry.
We can have a Pringle.
Yeah.
A Pringle.
Wait, hang
Party.
on. The real important question here is, what flavour of Pringles everyone got?
I have
Original.
barbecue, which is currently my favourite.
Oh, I have the barbecue as well. Mainly, I actually wanted the sour cream, but they were out.
I like sour cream. Sour cream's nice.
I got sour cream and original. I only eat the original though.
Occasionally, I might even dabble with a bit of prawn cocktail, which is quite nice.
I had the flame grilled steak ones last week.
Are they all right? Eh?
They're solid, yeah.
Oh, good. Comics, guys. We're here to talk about comics. The next story in the anthology is The Man in Black, which is a Superman story, which is written by Michael McMillan and artist by... Oh, wait. He's not a newcomer.
I know.
Yeah,
What? This is bollocks. Jean Ferreira, who of course has been doing a lot
but
of
again,
Green Arrow issues.
who knows when this was written?
True.
It could be before he got on Nightwing, right?
You know, it's funny though, I never actually realised this, but now that I've read that, I'm like, yeah, that does look like his art.
Yeah, I've just done the exact same thing. I've looked at the box and gone, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it does look like his
It does
stuff.
look a little bit older though, a little bit less refined.
Yeah, maybe. So we start with a flashback to in Kansas. It just says several years
When he
ago.
gets small.
Yeah, we don't get
Yeah.
an exact time, and Matt's dog is now determined to
Yes.
interrupt everything.
He's
First
earned his
food,
nickname
then
of
the dog.
Thunderdog.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. He's aware that there was food in play though. That's what maybe got him excited. He's like, food,
Probably.
chicken.
He's heard Matt mention Pringles and he's like, I want Pringles.
if he could hear, he's going deaf, so he just
Yeah.
felt it. Anyways,
smelled
so
the
there's
Yeah. So we have like a sheriff in Smallville. Who has a bit of an alien encounter. Then it's not because the fact is, see when this starts and it says Smallville and we see something like coming down the night sky. Obviously, we naturally go, "Oh, this is Superman arriving."
Especially when the caption says, the night the stars fell from the sky.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Straight up just assumed that's what it was.
But I think this is made from the perspective of the cop, who for him this was like this big event, but we don't know about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And we get this creepy ass looking alien stepping out with a big Joker looking smile on his face.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
These are very long fingers. Very
Yeah.
long bony fingers that are kind of creepy.
And he says to him, and I think the way the speech bubbles makes it look as it's more of a telepathic.
That's what I thought it was.
dialogue.
Because
Yeah.
the sheriff actually has speech bubbles,
Yeah.
whereas for him, they just float between them.
Yeah, and it's got that sort of like kind of broken up line thing going around it,
Yeah.
to accent it. But yeah, he's like, my name is Enric Call, and I have come to save this planet. Which I'm just like, no, you're not. There's double meaning in there.
Yeah,
You look,
definitely.
you look evil as hell. I'm not
It's
trusting
save
that.
as in, I wanted to reserve this for my family.
Yeah. So it comes to present day, and Superman is battling a Joker robot in Metropolis, and he makes short work of it. And Superman's like, "Oh, this is kind of lame even for Joker. I mean, this is quite simple, just a robot." But when he pulls off the head of the robot, it's actually Lois that's piloting it, and she's been infected with Joker gas. So Superman brings up this magical new ability that he's been working on, where he mixes his heat vision and his X-ray vision to do microwave vision, and he microwaves the toxin out of her blood.
I'm down for it.
I need the issue where he makes popcorn just by looking at it.
She makes a reference to that.
Joke.
She cracks that joke.
Matt
you
is
go.
on the ball.
On the
Yeah.
ball. I know Superman, having not read the story.
Yeah, but once that happens, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to fly you away and make sure you get medical attention as well, just to be on the safe side." That wasn't like a fine-tuned science what I just did. It was kind of a quick rough
Yeah.
fix,
Yeah. But,
But
this is one of those weird ones where it feels like it almost could be in continuity as well, because they reference John.
yeah, the reference John. So this is definitely supposed to be set in like present day.
And when you see Batman, he's got the the yellow outline around the bat of the rebirth suit.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking at the Joker, and it looks like in-game Joker. Now that I'm thumbing through this.
Yeah, but she mentions that the Joker acted differently. Like, he even apologizes for what he's doing as he's doing it. So I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is a tease for, like, if the rest of the story is meant to be like a different kind of Joker for a Superman story.
It almost feels like it's playing into the three Jokers.
Yeah, where one of them's like this.
Because, like you say, I mentioned there's the Endgame one, with the slicked back hair that we had from Capullo. We see in like a shadow in Lois's mind. But the Joker that we see then at the very end in the panel isn't that version.
Yeah. And it even says all of this is part of his plan to save the planet, which is what the alien with the big Joker-looking smile said at the start.
Yeah.
So is this
I don't like that, guys.
This is an alien robot version of Joker.
It's pretty good, this, actually. I really want more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well told, and I really like it.
It sounds great. But what that means for the DCU, like, that's bad news.
Only one Joker's alien, though. Not all of them.
Doesn't matter. Alien Joker's scary as hell. Like, come on.
And I really like this one too. And yeah, and obviously it ends with the Batman calls Superman, which, by the way, I love the super signal.
Yeah.
That he broadcasts to him because he's using the Wayne satellites to broadcast this signal that only Superman can hear, which we've seen villains do before. But the fact that he's put this in place, he's like, no, this is the super signal.
Yeah, this is when I need your attention.
Yeah.
I know you'll hear it.
Yeah.
It's kind of bad though, because it's kind of the equivalent of a dog whistle. Like where you blow it and you just summon them. It's like, oh, they can hear it.
Yeah.
Well, that's always been behind the signal watch. It's essentially a dog whistle.
But now Batman's dog whistling Superman.
And it's such a small point, but I love that when Superman responds to him, he says, "I don't like when you're being this cute. It's unnerving." So it's got that Superman-Batman dialogue in banter that I really like, where it plays off who each of them are and how they interact with each other. So that's really cool. But it's just such a small moment because he's only just there for the last half of the last page. But he tells him that the Joker's actually in Smallville, which again is setting up this idea that's going to be a deeply this Joker Superman story that goes back to Superman's past and is all rooted in Smallville, which is quite cool.
I would love this as a full story.
So would I. Yeah. This is a mini waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Or even just an arc in Action Comics or whatever you want to put it.
Yeah.
Could go anywhere.
Yeah, if they want to take a break and do it as a little mini event thing.
Yeah. I'm down for more of this. This is great. Mm-hmm. And obviously the art's great because it's an artist we know, and we've been praising his work on Green Arrow for months. So
so it kind of feels moot to even really discuss it here, doesn't it?
But his Superman looks great. I love how it's got that kind of watercolor look that he kind of has with the colors, but it really works with Superman, and Superman stands out against the greens really well when he's in the park.
And that page where the panel where he's flying with Lois and the cape's just flowing behind him, and the sky's just kind of, there's almost like a sunsetting thing going on, and it just looks fantastic.
Even the way the bottom of that, where it shows you the Joker, and it's like Lois's face in half shadow, but it's like a Dutch angle.
Yeah.
And it's like it blends into the building where the Joker is. It just looks really nice. It's cool layout. So no, that's and again it ends with the end ? Ha 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 ha. So they're even teasing that there might be more of this, and I hope there is.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, me too.
And then the last story is Good Morning Gotham. It's a Harley Quinn story, and it is written by Joelle Jones, who that name's popped up recently.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I read it
as an artist, though, right?
I can't remember, no. But the name's definitely popped up recently. And the artist is Sam Lotfi. So
okay,
I'm going with that pronunciation. And it's basically there's a virus or whatever that's broken out in Gotham, and they're evacuating the city. And Harley decides to use this time to stage a riot out of Arkham. And basically, when they get to the doors, there's a fun sequence of all the various villains in Arkham helping her to escape. And when they get to the door, they basically all decide, well, if we go out there, we'll probably die, so maybe we should just stay here. And then Harley, at the end of the story, is that Harley says, nah, that's no fun, let's have an adventure, and she walks out into the possibly deadly atmosphere.
Yeah. Just to come back and just touch, I found out where we saw her name.
Go on.
She was an artist for the 3rd issue of American Alien.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I knew that. I feel like she's worked on Birds of Prey, though, too.
I feel like she's been on something more recent, though, because I feel like we've talked about her or mentioned her name on the podcast.
Not according to DC Comics' website, whereas artists, maybe as variant covers.
Maybe.
Okay.
No. She did. Her first work for them was in the the Adventures Superman digital first stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but American Alien.
It's nice.
Most recent thing.
It's nice to see 2 or 3 of these that are already sort of worming their way into the books. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of cool. This might be the weakest one.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say I prefer her as an artist.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I actually don't like the art in this one that much, so I'd have liked her on the art in this, and then had someone else write it.
Yeah, because I thought like the writing's it's fine. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but I don't think it's anything particularly good either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It just kind of was what it was.
It's very straightforward, isn't it?
And it's the only one that doesn't feel like it's setting up a new story. It feels like it just ends, and it feels that's a conclusion. Sure.
Yeah, well, maybe the first one. I feel like the Hellblazer one, like that, felt like the end.
I feel like that could be, but I can also see how that can continue.
You could continue, but it also felt like, oh no, that was a satisfying end to this as well for me.
It did work. Yeah, it worked more, which is why it wasn't until the second one when I started to feel like, oh wait, these are all like pitches for bigger stories. And once I realised that, when you go back to the Hellblazer one, it kind of works that way too. Whereas
when you look at it as a pitch,
yeah,
but it also does have a self-contained like little arc, and that's it.
Whereas this one doesn't feel like it's a pitch for anything, unless they're wanting to do a Harley Quinn out in apocalyptic Gotham, which they probably do want to do that.
I'm pretty sure that's already happened at various points in the.
I
mean, we had the zombie apocalypse, is what started the Rebirth series.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, it was in Coney Island, not Gotham, but whatever.
Either way.
So,
either way.
You don't necessarily have to read the last one, Matt, but definitely get to the Superman story.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I will. That, and I want to read the Wonder Woman, Catwoman one. I thumbed through them as you guys were talking, so...
But to be honest, if you're that far in, might as well just read the Harley Quinn one anyway, just to complete it.
Yeah, but you're also that much closer to the end, and you can just close it, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Touche.